Alright, you ready?
Let's do it.
Alright.
I'm not ready. Oh man. Yeah, it doesn't feel like a Civic anymore, man.
A little different, right?
That's just quick, man.
Not too bad. Gets up and goes for what it is. So, like I said, the car's pretty much stock besides bolt-ons. It's a little bit kind of loud.
Alright everyone, welcome back to the Motive Anatomy. Today we have Lance. Lance, thank you so much for making the time for us, man.
Not a problem.
So tell us, man, what do you drive?
This is my 2011 Lexus ISF.
2011.
2011.
So then walk us back. What got you into cars and how did you end up with this specific car?
I actually had a shop. We used to do a lot of car, audio, motorsports stuff. After that, it just kind of spiked from there. We had a Toyota Supra, I had an A86 Corolla, and then I actually became a Honda lover. So I had an EK sedan with an ITR swap in it, and this was actually one of the cars that I used to see driving around on the streets that I was like, oh man, one day when I can afford it, I'm gonna go ahead and get one of those. So it just so happens that it finally came true. So
The day came?
the day finally came, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how long was the search for this one, and was it this specific year, this specific color? Walk us through that.
The year range that I wanted was actually a 2014,
Okay.
but for the price that I wanted to pay, a 2014 wasn't gonna quite cut it. A little bit too expensive for me. I found this one. This one was a two-owner car, extremely low miles, a little bit more than what I wanted to pay for the car, but it popped up on Craigslist one day, and unfortunately I only have one extra spot in my garage for another car, so it was time to get rid of my Civic, and then I ended up moving into this. So try to make it more of a weekend car, but went a little bit too far.
So you pick it up. What was the vision for it?
The vision for this car was originally just to be a weekend car. I wanted something that I can take out, drive with my friends, have a good time in, have AC, because I did the Honda thing where you get rid of the AC and you want to be a track driver, right? But yeah, so that was the vision, just to have a nice weekend car. So
How did you go about this specific look? Because it's very aggressive now.
yeah, so that
We like it though. I'm not gonna lie, I like it. I'm just saying, it's very aggressive.
definitely different. It doesn't suit everybody's style. I went ahead and I went for the track theme build. I still like to go out to the track and have fun. Granted, I haven't had much time for this car due to work, but yeah, so then the splitter came, and then I actually got the opportunity to go to SEMA last year. So when that arose, I was kind of like, well, I got to do some kind of build to the car. I'm not going to bring a stock car to SEMA. So I ended up dumping a bunch of money into it.
Oh, wow, okay, so walk us through that then. So the car was just supposed to be like a slow build,
Weekend car, yep.
Under SEMA what? Like, were you under a certain section, or how did that come about? Because you're just saying like it's something casual. It's not easy to get into SEMA and to take a build there.
So typically for the company that I work for, we do car detailing stuff. I work for McGuire's, and we like to have a nice black car that's always in the booth. Something to show, you know, paint quality and all of the features from there on out. So when I found out that they wanted to use my car for my work, it just kind of escalated from there. So, and it ended up looking something like this.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So let's get into it. Tell us a little about the front end. What do we have going on?
So the front end is a little bit different. My friend Ken Swen, which is Big Red KSR, a lot of Honda guys might know him. He does a lot of aero fabrication. On my EK sedan, we actually had a very similar setup with big Voltex canards on there, and then we had the big chassis mounted splitter. So that ended up coming along. Novell is a Japanese company who specializes in Lexus parts, and they ended up giving me this carbon fiber front lip as well for the car too. So
Do you find with this cars everything has to be custom, or is there a big aftermarket support? Since it is a more luxurious car.
yeah. For Lexus, I figured there was going to be a little bit of a tax for it, since it's just a Lexus in general. There ended up being a big price difference for a lot of the Lexus stuff, especially from coming and owning a Honda previously. So there was, yeah, just that little bit of difference.
Let's leave it at that before you kick yourself in the butt. All right, cool. What are the future plans for the front end?
The front end, I'm actually, like I said, I still wanted to have a weekend car, and since I went so crazy for SEMA and to do some light tracking maybe every couple of months or whenever I'm able to make time for it anyway, I want to put another stock front bumper on there with maybe just a different front lip, make it look a little less aggressive so I don't attract too much attention.
Yeah, it's definitely very beautiful. And then
Thank
tell
you.
us about the hood.
The hood is actually by Novell as well too, so it is a carbon fiber hood. Pretty simple. It's all carbon, but I actually painted it. I don't like too much carbon accents, so I actually had them spray a light layer of black paint on top of it to kind of give it more of a smoked appearance.
And what's the color code or the name of the color?
I think it's just black, but I
Just
might be
black.
mistaken on that. Yeah.
It's like so they have a fancy name, but it's
Yeah,
black.
yeah,
Gotcha.
absolutely, yeah.
And obviously they don't look this good from factory because you guys do your magic on them.
Yeah, we do work a little bit of magic. So.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Tell us a little about the suspension. What do you have going on?
So suspension, it has mostly like FIGS upper control arms, FIGS bushings. It's all spherical bushings as well too, so it's a little bit loud and kind of clunky, a little bit more than what I want for street driving. And then it's on BC coilovers with Swift springs, 16K, 18K.
Woo.
Yeah, a little stiff.
Wow. Future plans for the suspension?
Suspension, I do want to get rid of the FIGS suspension. I definitely want to put Öhlins on here, kind of get it more dialed in for track stuff. But since I haven't got to really take it out too much, I haven't done too much testing with the suspension yet. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Sweet. Wheel and tire setup, because I know you didn't have these wheels when you went to SEMA.
Yes.
You upgraded.
Yes.
Tell us your thought process. Why these size? Why these style wheels? Things like that.
TEs was always one of my dream wheels, and it just ended up being a wheel that I had to have on every one of my cars. So
has that been the case with every single build?
yeah, for the most part, TEs were bound to come at one point or another.
They just work for you.
They just work for me. So, but ideally for the track, I don't want to run on 19s. I want to run on 18s, which at SEMA I actually had 18-inch Advans, and I actually got to take it out to Arizona, kind of play around with it on there. I like the car on 18s. It felt really nice. So, plus, tires are cheaper. It's always a benefit, right?
So then what are the specs on the wheels and the tire size that you're running?
So specs on the wheels are 19 by 9.5 plus 35 in the front, and then 19 10.5 plus 32 in the rear. And then 275 35s in the rear, and I have 255 40s in the front.
Did it take you a long time to get the fitment right? Because it seems like it sits perfectly. I don't know how it rides on the track, but it looks like it sits really good.
Thank you. Yeah, it actually took me a couple of tries with different sets of tires. It's been a long time since I've built a rear-wheel drive car, so sizing up the tires, there's been a couple of times where I bought a set of tires and they ended up being a little too stretched for my liking. Mm-hmm. So this is, I'd say, round two on the set of tires.
That's awesome, man.
The rear, as far as the diffuser goes, I don't mind keeping it how it is for the time being. That's the Novell rear diffuser as well, and then it's got the smoked carbon accents on there as well. The wing is from Sard. Like I said, originally I thought I was going to do more of a street style build for the car, so I didn't want any crazy big GT wing or anything like that for the car. Wanted to keep it more on the simple side, something that just gave it a little bit more sportier of a look. But the GT wing will probably end up coming sooner or later.
Any future plans from the outside you may have forgotten about, or?
Probably just a big wing. Other than that, I don't really see it being necessary, especially until I shake the car down a little bit more, have a little bit more fun with it at the track. It's just got its little miscellaneous Toyota aftermarket parts, like the little rear fender arches and stuff like that. So.
What kind of exhaust system do you have, Lance?
So the exhaust on the car is a RR Racing exhaust, and then it has Bazooka straight tips, I believe. So no exhaust, it's pretty much just a straight pipe.
Straight.
Yeah. Revs?
I'm sure.
I'm telling you, you better cover your ears.
Oh man. You work around here, so
That's okay.
you don't want your boss to get mad at you. All right. Go for it. Yeah, it's loud. It's really loud. All right, Lance. Wow. Well, this is definitely a little bit different than a 90 Civic.
Definitely.
What do we have going on, man?
Well, first off, excuse the mess, dirty floor mats and everything like that. So for SEMA, Sparco actually had sponsored the vehicle and they hooked me up with a set of seats, so that was always nice. Little miscellaneous things. My friend Elvin actually created the custom steering wheel for me, which is the Alcantara and the carbon fiber. The Alcantara armrest came out of like the 2014 ISFs. Other than that, it's pretty simple besides a couple little hot boy LED lights and stuff like that.
The cage, it's gorgeous.
Yes. So Studio RSR actually made the cage for me. They did like custom gussets inside the cage. Just something a little bit different. Of course, when you go out to the track, you want to be safe, and this car's got a lot more power than a Civic, so I figured if I rolled the car, I wanted to make sure that I had a little bit of safety in here.
Gotcha. What are the future plans for the interior?
I'd like to do, my friend John, actually from Alfaiga, makes a carbon fiber rear seat delete. So I hope that we're gonna work together and be able to make that fit around the roll cage. Other than that, I'm probably gonna just keep it like this for the time being. I don't wanna gut the car too much because like I said, I wanna keep it more of a weekend car, something that I can drive around in. I don't wanna gut the whole car and rip out the AC. Wanna be comfortable.
No. You can have a gutted car with AC.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't have to.
Exactly. I made that mistake already, so.
All right. So this B18 looks different.
Yeah, this B18 looks nice, right?
So tell us, what are we imagining? Because we're not looking at much.
Yeah, so lots of plastic, nothing too crazy done. The car for the most part just has bolt-ons, so it's headers, intake, exhaust, and then the typical Lexus standard plastic covering everywhere.
It looks very nice though.
Yeah.
I like it. It looks very, very clean. Obviously you take it off. How does the engine look? Does it look something like tasteful or not really?
It looks like a rat's nest if you want to take a quick peek.
Oh, okay. Oh, look, race car right there.
Yeah. So
Tell us, for those that don't know like myself, what size of the motor, how much power are we looking? Obviously it's rear wheel drive. I mean, this is a whole different animal. So I'm thinking a computer update and all of a sudden it makes 100 more horsepower type of thing, right?
yeah.
What are we staring at?
What you're looking at is, I guess Yamaha was actually the people who designed and built this motor in this car, and it's a V8. It's a 5-liter V8. Pretty simple as far as power-wise. It puts down like 416 to the crank. I have not dynoed the car with the bolt-ons on there. Just drive it around and enjoy it. So plenty of power for what it already has.
And you're saying NA, right? Okay.
No promises on that. I do want to supercharge the car, but I have house goals first, so we'll work on that.
Priorities, there you go. No problem.
Yeah.
And I mean, a V8 really pushes a lot of power as is with the bolt-ons.
Definitely.
And you're gonna get better in your driving, but
Absolutely.
wow, cool. All right, Lance, thank you so much, man, for taking the time and showing us this gorgeous build. You know what, it's new, and it's not we're not used to this, so this is definitely different. Tell us any future plans you may have forgotten about and any shout outs.
I think we pretty much covered everything on the car. Hopefully you guys will end up seeing me a little bit more at the track when I'm able to break away from work a little bit. As far as shout outs go, I do definitely want to give a huge shout out to Ken, which is the guy who fabbed the splitter for me, Novell for sponsoring the car, my friends at Mastermind as well too for hooking me up with the wheels and ordering the Tom side skirts and all of the other little JDM goodies. Definitely a huge shout out to Sparco as well too. And I guess I have to shout out my company as well too, so Maguire's, because the paint wouldn't be shiny without them. So
That's cool, man. 3,000 RPM. I can't hear myself.
Oh, it's not bad yet. We'll go to this back street over here and we'll do a little pull so you can see. But other than that, if the car wasn't so loud, it'd be a really fun, enjoyable car to drive around and just have fun with. So a lot of people take this car, they take it out every weekend, they beat the crap out of the car at the canyons, take it out to the track, and it's a great, reliable car. So
yeah, I was about to ask you, has it been reliable for you?
most definitely. I've had no issues with this car whatsoever.
So what would you say to that one person who has been eyeing this car? Because I know this car was definitely, you know, very nicely advertised.
Yeah.
Do you tell them go for it, or would you say wait on it, or what would you say to them?
I'd say that if you drove one and you found a year and it was in your price range, it would definitely be worth it. It's a fun, great car.